Hey there. We are here, and this is At Ease with Delegates.
A quick at ease with Delegate aired, and we are excited because hopefully in a few moments we will be adjourning sine die because we have officially almost completed our last few items of business, which was to vote on the budget.
So we voted on
Oh,
House Bill
really?
29 and House Bill 30, which were the two pieces for the budget. And both the House and the Senate have passed them. And now we are waiting to hear back from the Senate so that we can finish electing judges. Because as we've said in a previous At Ease, the legislative body chooses the judges for the state. So.
Absolutely. And so there are multiple layers to that process, but ultimately, where we are now is agreeing upon the names that have been put forward and just going through the procedural motions of them. The other thing that occurred today on our last day here is a brief update on the work that the state agencies are doing to prepare Virginians for the spread that we are experiencing right now, the coronavirus. There will be a lot of updates that will be occurring over the next few hours and days. It's from what we understand, but for now, just please continue to take every precaution as necessary, like washing your hands, not touching your face, wiping down frequently used surfaces, and as much as all possible, limiting yourself to access to just huge amounts of people in small spaces.
Yep. So one of the things too that if you have high blood pressure, diabetes, or are immunocompromised in any way, and can afford to what do they say, socially quarantine. Go on and try and do that because we definitely want to make sure that the most vulnerable of our neighborhoods and communities are being taken care of. So check on your elderly neighbors, check and make sure your family and friends are good. I'll be real honest, I am going to exhibit the behaviors that they are asking of us. I will not be coming to a lot of the events that I've been invited to over the next couple of weeks, just because I am on that list as well. And so I'm going to take care of myself. There's too much work for us to be getting done for our communities and in our neighborhoods in order for us to be sick. And so really asking people to take this seriously. You can find more information on my website at delegatemarciaprice.com, and there is a button that says coronavirus, and it has up-to-date information, except I need to update it. Yesterday, I think the number was 8, and today we found out the number is 15 confirmed cases in Virginia. So you're seeing a lot of schools close, and you're seeing a lot of people take teleworking and all of that. The reason is we need to slow the spread. And so if we can get a handle on it, then it won't explode to the point where our healthcare system can't handle it. And so we're really trying to slow the spread. So that's what we're up to. I would love to hurry up and get out of this room with 99 other people so that I can go take care of myself.
And
But,
I would
yeah.
say what you can expect after we adjourn and many others is us going, not necessarily on the road, but maybe on the internet to bring you,
Wait a minute. Will it hurt? Yeah.
to bring you updates. I had considered doing town hall meetings, but we may be doing tele-town hall meetings or webinars just to give you more in-depth coverage on what we were able to accomplish this session. So be on the lookout for that from us, but also the other members that you follow.
Yep, same here. I'm going to be having digital office hours. So if you have Zoom, Facebook chat, we can do Instagram chat, FaceTime, all kinds of things that we can do if you have constituent concerns. But we will be doing it from a digital means for now. And then as we see how things pan out, we'll get back to in person. What else we got?
That's it.
Is it?
It is.
Wait, we haven't talked about any of the bills that you
You
got
want
that.
to talk about that right now?
When am I see you next?
Okay, so doing a quick look back over this past session, I will say that man, I was able to get 12 bills passed, which I'm extremely proud of, and that's not including legislation that I was able to chief co-patron. And so the one thing I will talk about that was clear from this budget, I spent a lot of time focused on things like the at-risk add-on, things like fully funding our
What's
schools.
at-risk add-on?
So the at-risk add-on is a pot of money that we have that we're able to give out to schools in fiscally distressed and or I would just say high impoverished school districts that allow really the schools to have those additional supports that aren't covered under operational funds. It gives you or gives schools a bit more flexibility, and so we are not contributing as much as we should as a state to that pot of money, and so yearly we're always asking for increase so that our schools will have more support. And so one of the things I've been pushing for is even beyond that, but ultimately to fully fund our schools from a staff support perspective. And so we were unsuccessful in passing the legislation that would do that, but ultimately what you will see in this budget that we just passed is more funding from a historical perspective than ever before. And you will see that there's been a significant investment in early childhood education, programming that allows for more at-risk 3 and 4-year-olds to get the learning resources that they need where they already are receiving care, so in your typical child daycare centers, so that they're not left behind by the time they get into kindergarten and first grade, because that's one of the things that we are seeing substantially. From the higher ed standpoint, just as a higher ed professional, I would say that extremely proud of the monies that our HBCUs will be receiving, but then also the money that we will have for financial aid for our institutions across the board. So a lot of really great progress, and excited about what we'll be able to do to move Virginia forward with this budget.
And is it true, Delegate Air, because I think I heard it in the briefing, that with this budget we return to the pre-recession levels of funding for education?
So yes, Delegate Price, it is true that there are categories in the budget that do return to pre-recession dollars, particularly for some of the schools in Northern Virginia. And then also for monies that were going towards supporting infrastructure like capital improvement, school buses, and we've renamed that fund to something. But ultimately, it tries to get our schools back to where we were previously, because they've been hurting for some time.
Awesome, and I will have a legislative update for the 11 bills that I helped get passed that I carried. And so now we're being called back into order, and now we have information from the Senate.
I have been directed by the President of the Senate to inform the House of Delegates that in the execution of joint order pursuant to House Joint Resolution 509, nominations have been made by the Senate for certain judicial officers, as listed on the attached papers.
Okay. Oh, that is it.
So now we have to make sure that all of the nominations that the Senate made for judges and that the House made for judges are the same in order for us to move forward. So while they're making sure of that, and before we get to our final votes, I'll be putting a legislative update about the bills that I carried this session. Really, really excited. We also have $500,000, $500,000 is coming to the Brooks Crossing Innovation and Opportunity Center, and I was very proud to work hard for that to be included in the budget. So we'll have more information and we'll do another video, but we are trying to see if we're about to get adjourned. Tiny die, maybe. But just in case, I wanted to say thank you so much for supporting and watching, and we heard you. You guys want updates in regular language that's not, just inaccessible, but for us to help bring it back to you. So we'll say bye for now, but we'll be back later. Bye.